So these are short tutorials for busy teachers, and the first one is getting started with Google Classroom. Now you need to navigate to Classroom, that's classroom.google.com, or if you're already signed into Chrome on any device, then you can just use your waffle. Now these tutorials assume that you have G Suite for Education set up and all your teachers and students have Gmail accounts. In order to set a new class up, you need your plus button here. If you don't have the option to create a class, then speak to your Google admin. They need to approve you as a teacher. Students will only see Join Class. So to create a new class, the class name is what appears at the top. So this is just going to be a test class. The section header is the bit that's underneath. The subject and the room appear inside the classroom, so I'll just show you what they will look like. When you click create, it seems like it's taking a few minutes, but that's because it's creating a Google Drive structure in the background. You can find this if you go to My Drive, and the folder's called Classroom. For every classroom that you're a member of, or for every classroom that you set up, you will have a classroom folder. And this is great because even if you archive the classroom, the work is still available. It also means that you can click on any classroom and have a quick look at past assignments or work that's been handed in, and the students have the same folders replicated for them as well. When your class is set up, you can do a few easy things to make it look good and personalise it. You can select a theme. These have already been put in via Google, or you can just upload a class photo. You can, if you're using something like Canva, create your own headers for the top. Other things you need to be aware of are the class code. So there are a couple of ways that your students can join. You can give them the class code, you can copy the link and email it to them, or you can go to people and add them manually. I'm going to add a test student so that you can see what this looks like from a student's perspective. Invite. You can also on this page add teachers. Teachers will have permissions to post classwork. Students will have permission to respond to the classwork, to upload assignments, and to communicate, to be able to communicate in the stream. You can turn that off. In each class that you set up, the settings cog is individual to that class. You can change any details that you have here. You can turn the invite code on and off to stop anyone else from joining, or you can reset it. You can also turn on the Meet link here. This one's turned on. I'll show you what that looks like. And then you can have the ability to decide whether the students can post and comment, or turn that off so only teachers can. You also have guardian summaries within Classroom. If you have parental or guardian emails, they can be emailed a summary of their child's work throughout the week in your class. Marking requires its own tutorial, but you can have this on and they're able to see their own marks as they progress through any assignments that you set in Classroom. Other things to get you going. If we go back to our main dashboard, you've got some quick links here. As a teacher, you can review the work that's been handed in. So if you select that, it will take you through to a list of all the assignments that have work ready to mark. I've got a quick link to my calendar. What Google will do is create a calendar for each of these classrooms. And as you can see that I've got work that's due in for my classes. This is available on their calendar and mine. And as I'm enrolled in other people's class in this one, I can also got access to a to-do list. So students will have this and it will let them know what work is still outstanding for them to do. You can also move your classrooms around. So if you click on the three dots, you can choose to move and then you can drag and drop the classrooms into any order that you like. You can also copy a whole classroom and you can also archive. This means that students or teachers will no longer be able to post to it, but the class will still be available in your archive section, which is right at the bottom of your list here. The work for these, even if you delete the archive classroom, will still be available in the My Drive Classroom folder. If you go into settings, this is where you can turn your notifications on and off and change your profile picture. So currently, I have notifications turned on for some classes, but not for others. And then when they're turned on, I can also decide what I want to be notified via email. If you have a lot of classrooms with a lot of students who are engaging in your classroom in many ways, you might just want to turn your emails off. But as you can see, if you have a look here, you've actually got a lot of choices about which things you want to see and which things you do not. On each individual classroom, you've got instant access to the gradebook, and you've also got access to the Drive folder quickly. I'm very quickly just going to show you what a populated classroom looks like. I organise this one via topic. So this is GCSE, and within each section, the students have a mix of assignments, which they can hand in for me to mark, or material, which is normally just my classroom slides or possibly a video if I'm providing work for my students. And so finally, what does it look like for your student? So if you remember, I've added a test student here. And if I log in as them, initially when they log into Classroom, they'll get the invite here. If that doesn't happen for them, remember you can just send them a class code and they can go up here and click join class. You'll note that there's no option to create class. That's because I'm a teacher in this, a student in this account. So I can join this. Again, it will take a few minutes because it's setting up that folder structure for the student. So every assignment that you set, the material and anything they hand in will always be available to them on My Drive. Everything is the same. There's one less tab up here because they don't have access to a mark book. They don't have access to see who else is in the classroom, but they can email you directly from this link here. Classwork, they'll be able to see all of their classwork, and the View Your Work will allow them to see any work that needs to be handed in. They can go into the Google Meet if you've got one set up. Please note that if you're using Google Meet and you set it up through Classroom, no students can join the Meet until the teacher is present. They also have the calendar and the class drive folder that was set up and the post. And as you can see, I've set the ability for students to write to the stream. And that is a very quick, easy guide to Google Classroom for teachers.